All right, guys, welcome back. Survival Living here. So I've got something I want to discuss with you, and that is possible extreme fuel prices and fuel shortages coming to, well, gas station near you. So what I'm talking about, guys, is this whole OPEC stuff. All right, now I'm not talking about the early day OPEC oil crisis back in, what, 73? Should be a pop-up there for you guys. That was caused due to embargoes against the United States. Yeah, we have oil reserves here in America. We know this. But in 73, we had the Arab and Israel conflict stuff going on there, and America helped Israel. In response, the Arab nations that produce a lot of oil and hooks us up, sells to us, decided to embargo us, and we dealt with all that, all those gas pumps and stuff like that, no gas, or what was the other photo I was watching, gas for normal customers, regular customers, things like that. Yeah, so if you are old enough to remember that, this was right before my time, but I like to read up on history a lot. Yeah, we don't want to see that again. Now, there's been a lot of stuff thrown around. It's because the American V8 was going crazy and people were driving everywhere post-war and all this great stuff. That's not why. It's because we got an embargo. All right. Now, one of the things I want to talk about is this new OPEC threat. Well, actually, OPEC's warning of a threat. Their concern should be a pop-up here somewhere. Is the conspiracy that they have reached peak oil. Peak oil, from my understanding, everyone, is that we have reached the maximum amount of oil that we can pull out of the ground. And the conspiracy is that we are using more than what we can actually retrieve from the ground. Now, of course, OPEC's sitting there saying this is complete nonsense. They need to stop it, or we're going to have another oil crisis on our hands like 73. In my opinion, and I'm looking at this from working in the oil fields, does not mean I'm an expert. We have some pretty cool technology out there. Unfortunately, like when I was in Willis, North Dakota, we're fracking. I did not work on the rigs. I serviced the rigs. I repaired the stuff that got broke. All right, I'm a welder by trade. And the thing about fracking, guys, is that you are pumping, usually salt water, into the ground, and it's causing the shell to crack so they can get that sweet oil out. Yeah, stuff looks like antifreeze when it comes out, and good God, don't get it on you. It stinks to high heaven. But there's a huge issue with pollutants. All right, you're cracking all this stuff in the ground. They're worried about groundwater being polluted from this. They're also worried about other pollutant in the land from spills and things like that. And also there is things that are being kind of directed at earthquakes, seismic activities. Now, don't quote me on that one because I haven't found any actual proof on it. But there's a lot of correlations. People are like, hey, we never had earthquakes until they started fracking in the area. Well, 1 and 1 does equal 2. But I don't have facts on that. Now, with this, guys, they're saying that this keeps running rampant, this conspiracy. It will cause another huge oil shortage, fuel shortage. With this, my opinion, we're going to have that anyway. Mainly because of the whole green new cow fart deal stuff that's going on, that you know, fossil fuels is bad. Unfortunately, we do not have the systems in place or the technology to get away from fossil fuels. We don't. We use it for everything. A lot of people think it's just gas and heating oil. Look into your care products that you use. Everything from petroleum jelly, makeup, cooking. There's so many different products there. Lubrication for vehicles, maintenance uses petroleum jelly or some type of petroleum oil that is a byproduct, and there you go. You know, butane is actually a byproduct of oil. Yeah, gasoline, butane, all this stuff is. All right, so if you just cut it out, you actually kill a lot of products and supplies. Okay, so with this, guys, do I expect something major to happen? Yeah, I actually do. We're too dependent on it. Unfortunately, we don't have the technology to get away from it yet. So all it takes is another embargo. Yeah. I'm bringing this back around to the whole conflict overseas right now. We've done videos on it. Should be a pop-up there because I'm trying to watch what I say here. All right. Reason being is because what I'm going to talk about, if you're a YouTuber or a social media influencer, whatever, they're coming after what you say. I know people like to say, how dare you, blah, blah, blah. I love having a channel. I really do. It helps my income out with all the work I'm doing. Put a lot of time and effort into it. So I want to show you guys this person over here. I want you to ignore that it's a transgender man. It's a man dressed up like a woman, okay? An American man in Ukraine. He is their spokesperson. I'm not going to play into the bullshit. The guy is their spokesperson, all right? I watched a video earlier, and him wants to thank X, that's Twitter, for, helping with the pushing of their videos and stuff like that. And if I can find the video, I'm going to link it in the description for you to go watch. The words and things that are being said should actually worry a lot of people. 1984 thought police, watch what you say, do not speak against, or we'll lock you away. Yeah, they're actually talking about people that propagandize against what they're doing, and that country deserves a day in court for criminal propaganda. What happened to your First Amendment? What happened to your freedom of speech? What happened to journalism? Now, I'm not a journalist, but I am an American citizen, and I think I have a right to voice my opinion on things, especially when it's my tax dollars going over there. So should you. Basically, if you speak out against what they've got going on in that war, you're the enemy. You're part of the Russian, what's the word I'm looking for? Collaborators, sympathizers, something like that. Yeah. And they want to actually press charges, criminal charges. Wow. Last I saw, we have a protection of our speech. And mainly, a lot of people get freedom of speech mixed up. They believe that freedom of speech is allowed to, you should be able to say anything you want without any repercussion. Well, you can, as long as you have the ass to back it up. Freedom of speech is actually to speak out against government without prosecution on you. That is what freedom of speech is. A lot of people like to twist this stuff around for their own damn agendas. All right? If you want to run your mouth, have the ass to back it up. Go ahead. You mouth up at me, I'm going to knock you on your ass. And I expect the same from anybody else. The problem is, people think that's what freedom of speech is. It's not. It's to give us a voice against a tyrannical government, is what it is, to keep repercussions coming back on us. We have a right to stand up and speak against it. A little education for everybody. So with him, the guy that's dressed up like a girl, yeah, that one, they're all for, I don't get into religion much and stuff like that on this channel, mainly because I like the survival of my channel. I mean, it is survival living. But if you can watch that video, right, we just had a gremlin right there on the camera. If you watch that footage, the link's in the description there. The individual just keeps on talking about your God-given right and God this and God that. You might want to reread that book before you start speaking about God, because he has something to say about your outfit. That's just the way it is. All right, guys, I want you to be preparing as much as possible. Are you prepared to pay a lot in extra fuel? Because whether or not it happens man-made or an embargo, fuel prices go through the roof. You'll be left with trying to figure out, is it easier to buy groceries or pay for fuel to go to work? Well, if you prep, you already have food. You can still go to work. You can still get the income that you need to run everything else. Please put food back. Oil runs our vehicles, runs heating, runs our power stations. And for those that I have an EV vehicle, I'm green, you're an idiot. You know how much fossil fuel is burning to produce the power to charge up your EV vehicle? Unless that you have your own solar panels all over your house, plants set up to charge your own stuff when you're at home, and you're reliant on those charge stations, fossil fuel. Your EV is powered by fossil fuels. All right, guys, speak to you later.